Jurgen, you said it was like having a witch in the building last week with the injury problems. Any improvement on that front this week?
Yeah, Bobby's back. That's it, pretty much. Nothing else happened yet so far. So, yeah, that's the situation. So, better than last week.
With the context of those injuries and the sending off against Crystal Palace, you said you were proud of that performance. It feels like it's a trait of your team that when the backs are against the wall, when it's hard, your team do respond like that.
Yeah, we used to do that, and we did it again, so that's cool. I like the whole performance. I like the start of the game. Obviously, when we were 11 already, so of course it was unlucky that we then had to do it with 10 men, but it made a special game of it, and that's it, and that's what you need for in an early part of the season, that you realize, okay, you are able to do these kind of things, and how it always is in football. Our situation is not perfect in a moment with the injuries and all the suspension, of course not, but it's good enough to go from here, and it will change for the better, obviously, in the next few weeks. But now we have an upcoming game, a pretty important one, and for the opponent as well. And so we had a full week to prepare the game, and that's what we did.
And it was a special goal from Diaz. He seems like a player who can do special things.
Yes. He had a good start, played good against City, was unlucky against Fulham, and now Crystal Palace, a really good game, and especially with 10 men. It looked like he plays for 3-4 players in this moment. Important for him as well that he sees that it's possible and these kind of things. So it's always the same. You can say whatever you want. It has to happen on the pitch, and then you realize, okay, that's it, and from there you move on.
He seems to have hit the ground running since he came at the end of January. It's not always easy for players coming from outside the Premier League into this division. What do you think has been key to his successful transition?
The need we had as well, so he had to play immediately because the two boys were the African Cup of Nations. So that helped him settle in. Even if he wouldn't have performed perfectly immediately, we would have played him anyway, and so that gave him for sure immediately confidence. And then it's his quality, it's his talent, his skill set. That's it. He's a really good player. Let me say it like this: we knew it before, and when you're really good, it's easier to settle in.
Sure, and that goal obviously from a central area. I think all of his Premier League goals have come from quite central areas in line with the goalposts. Is that perhaps an area of his development, coming inside and being more threatening in those positions?
Yeah, but he scored different goals. He's won the Champions League, different goals. Obviously, he scored for Porto, different goals. So it's all about scoring then in the moments and arriving in the box in the right moment. But that he has this special thing that he can score from outside the box is obviously for a striker really important. And when you come from the left side, you know where you want to go. If you go to the left side, you're in the stands, so you have to come inside. So that's it's just a good player and very, very, very important for us.
Another good player, Mo Salah. 8 chances created for his teammates in that match. That's the most he's ever created in a Premier League game. And it comes after a season when he came up with 13 assists, the most he's ever created in a league. He's always been creative, but is that a significant development in his game, those numbers?
He always develops. It's really crazy. I know a few years back he arrived, and usually, when a player comes from outside inside, and they use the inside of the foot like a spin ball, if you want, and all of a sudden he had full throttle. The Chelsea goal is a pretty remarkable one. This year arrived with crosses with his right foot. I think, okay, you found the right foot on holiday, and these kind of things. So he's obviously a top professional and really tries to add on things into his game. And so he is a top striker, and with the numbers he had, not only scoring wise but assisting wise as well, is really big.
And one more goal on Monday would make him the top scorer in this fixture, which he's got lots of records, but that'd be a nice one given the importance of this game.
Pretty sure he knows that. I didn't know it, but I'm pretty sure Mo knows it, so good news.
Yeah, absolutely. Harvey Elliott said earlier this season that playing with Salah, playing with Trent Alexander-Arnold is a dream down that right side. It looks like they've got a good combination there. He's signed a new long-term contract. What does he give you in that part of the pitch?
Creativity. He's cheeky, he's always offensive orientated with his body position, stuff like this. He's always idea he wants to create these kind of things. And it was already when we started last season. it was exactly like that. That it looked really natural from the start, and yeah, that's helpful. We want to be, we have to be flexible on the right wing as well, and so it's not always more wide and or trend wide and these kind of things. So we need them all in the half spaces as well, and Harvey deals with that really good, and that's why he played the last game. So because he just deserves it, and he is the right player for that position, and he can play different positions, but this is one. He played probably the best games so far for us.
Off the pitch, on Monday, Man United supporters are set to protest against their owners. But this week we've seen Liverpool supporters form a supporters board. They're going to have representation on the Liverpool board. That feels like, well, it's the first time that's happened in the Premier League. How important is that relationship between fans and owners, and this template that Liverpool have set up here?
It's very important. But really, we all build on that. So imagine, we wouldn't have fans. How boring would that game be? The game would not be existing. That's how it is. So this is really the basis for everything. And of course, and you know, it need when you have a structure like we have in England, then you need owners as well. And so they have to make decisions. And they are all not always exactly like the supporters want to have it, probably, because supporters tend to be very tradition orientated. I'm the same, but sometimes you have to open your mind. That's how life is. And we say, okay, it was always like this, I know, but now we have to change in this direction. And the best thing to do these kind of things is in a dialogue, and when you communicate. And that's what we always did, but probably now even more so. And that's a really good sign.
Excellent. And on the pitch, going back to Old Trafford, the scene, of course, of that incredible 5-0 win last season. What are your memories of that?
I don't have memories of that, and I know I don't think about these kind of things, and it makes life not easier when you arrive now there. So all the things, it's a very important game, as if it was not already important enough before for United and for us, of course, as well. We are not over the moon about our start, and United is not about their start, but. Yeah, in the end, we are there to focus on football. We cannot really, I cannot really think about what could happen around or stuff like this. We arrive there with the bus, we want to go in the changing room, we want to do the warming up and want to play the best possible football game. I'm pretty sure the United team wants to do the same, and we will see what happens. I have no idea. I've heard a few things, but I'm not sure what really will happen. And so I really hope we can play a normal football game in the end, very important for both teams, but it's still a football game.
You beat Erik ten Hag's Ajax side in the Champions League a couple of seasons ago in the group stages. What do you expect from him on Monday? I cannot.
We try to, when you do an analysis, you try to figure out what might the opponent do, and now we saw them. We played them obviously in the preseason, and now we saw them playing twice. I don't know how many changes he will make. I don't know if he changed the approach, these kind of things. It's a lot of, but it's early in the season. It's always like this. You never know. For example, last week, Crystal Palace, I think, played once before with a 5 in the back, and now they play against us with a 5 in the back. Interesting. So you don't know. We have to prepare for pretty much everything. What will 100%, what will happen 100% is it will be a very intense game, and it has to be, and you need a good official stuff like this, that it's really that it stays normal, because it's early but already really important, and so I would love to focus on the football stuff.
What's the sort of key message for your squad this week going into that game then from you?
Key message is nothing to the next game. It's, of course, we spoke about it, because I don't want to speak the whole week about it, about the situation of Man United. The boys knew it anyway. So we expect a highest motivated team opponent, and a really good football team on top of that, by the way. And the message is just, prepare the game in the best possible way. We give all the information you need, but in the end, it's all about the boys to bring it on the pitch. And we don't. It's the next thing in all media, everywhere. Everybody will remind United about the results we had last year, and I knew it last year already. They will not help for next year. So we know what's at stake, and I'm pretty sure we will be ready for it.